So as I'm putting my face on, I'll talk about what products I don't want in my collection anymore. They have to be gone by the end of the year. I really did try to narrow it down to just a few specific products. They have to be gone. We never loved you. Hello. So I was looking back over the footage of last week, and I could not help but think, wow, my hair looks actually terrible. So I know I mentioned in the last video that I was going to give myself bangs, which obviously I did, but I cut off a bunch of length and I gave myself a short asymmetrical bob. And I keep thinking I look like an anime character, but I can't remember who it is. And if I remember who it is, or if you could tell me who you think I look like, just let me know down in the comments below. But if I remember who I look like, or if I start looking it up, I'll put it right here. My main goal for this video is to kind of do a small declutter, as well as talk about my goals for my Project Pan this year. I was thinking over last year's Project Pan video, and I thought that it was way too apologies for the camera, because for some reason this very specific memory card that I'm using likes to just not randomly work. So I was looking over last year's Project Pan, and my thoughts were that I was being a little bit ambitious. What is going on? Right here. I'm right here. Hello. As much as I would have liked to have used as much makeup as I said that I was going to use in that video, I just didn't. And that was for a wide variety of reasons, because I worked in a childcare setting, a really casual childcare setting, and I just didn't feel the need to wear makeup every day. It wasn't really necessary for my job to have like a really, put together appearance, so I just didn't wear it. I did try to find more opportunities to wear makeup during my day, so after the gym I would put on like a really quick face for work, but that was really it. I was pretty much putting the bare minimum on just to have something on my face, and it's totally fine, and it's actually what I would prefer to have, rather than literally all of the makeup that I do have. I have a lot of fashion makeup, and I just don't really wear like super colorful looks. I kind of regret buying every single liquid lipstick that Shop Miss A had to offer. But we bought it, so we're gonna try and use it, but this is where the video comes in. Instead of being super ambitious and trying to use every single piece of makeup this year, I'm gonna really hyper focus in on a couple of products that I don't want in my collection anymore. And like I said, I'm gonna do a small declutter as well, so why don't we just hop into the video. But before that, I'm going to just look a little crazy for a little bit. Since I have bangs and my hair is mostly in my face, I have to put everything back. I'm gonna use a headband, and my hair is just gonna look a little cray-cray for a couple minutes. Okay, it doesn't look as bad as I thought. So as I'm putting my face on, I'll talk about what products I don't want in my collection anymore. They have to be gone by the end of the year. And I really did try to narrow it down to just a few specific products from like each category. Like, they have to be gone. So for eyes, now I don't care if I get rid of this or not. This is still going strong. I don't really have a specific primer that I need to get rid of out of my collection. I think last year I talked about wanting to get rid of these primers, and I still want them to be gone. They're not top priority, but they're on the list. But if they're still in my collection next year, I won't be mad about it. I also have a Revolution primer. I have yet to really try. I think I maybe tried it once, not on camera, and I didn't mind it. But if I was to ever rebuy a primer, it would certainly be this Smashbox primer, because one, it lasted me like 8 years, but that's because I don't use it every single day. But it is a good primer. I've always had really good staying power with it. I never really noticed any creasing unless I got really especially oily on my lids, but I really like that stuff, and it would be a rebuy for me. So something out of my collection that needs to be gone this year is this little e.l.f. palette. As you can see, a lot of these have hit pan already, but that bronzy shade I am going to have a little bit of difficulty using. But worst comes to worst, I'll just turn it into watercolor paint. So this pan has to go because I've had it for a very long time. It is a cute little palette and it is really nice for travel, but I've had it for such a long time and I pretty much have these colors already in my stash, so I don't really need them. So I'm taking my e.l.f. C brush and I am realizing I have to wash my brushes because it has been quite a while. And I'm gonna dip into that very top shade there, and that is gonna be the base for my lids. That's pretty much always what I do when I use this palette. This shade is always my base. And I realized when I was doing the footage or looking over the footage and editing last week's video, I was like all the way over here. So I tried to be a little bit more mindful with my setup today. So a lot of things happened this weekend that I was really, really excited about. But I cut my hair, and that was a whole thing. Because I wasn't really sure what to do. I knew for a fact that I wanted an asymmetrical bob, but I really wasn't sure the process of how I needed to go about doing that. And I think I did an okay job. My goal with my hair is just to let it grow out evenly again. And I don't really know what I'm gonna do. And I thought, worst case scenario, if I do mess up cutting my bob, I'll just cut the entire thing and have short hair again for a little bit. But I am glad that it worked out. I also noticed when I cut my hair, like anytime I cut my hair, it always looks so much darker. When I was going over last week's footage and I was like looking at my hair color, I did have my hair balayaged in 2022. So there was still quite a bit of like highlight still left in it. And it was very, very like ash blonde, or, well, obviously the toner had, you know, gone away at that point, but it was very light. And now that pretty much all of this growth is just my hair now and some grays.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
So I'm gonna take my e.l.f. blending brush and I'm gonna go into that second color there. And I do like this palette. It's very simple, it's very subtle. And it's like, for a really nice quick eye look, I did wear it, I think, on Saturday night because my husband and I actually went out and socialized. His friend was having, and this is where something like dramatic happened. So his friend was having a 30th birthday party and we were invited, of course. And like, this friend is always really fun to hang out with because his parties are always massive and lots of people we don't know come. And like, I am not a big social butterfly at all. If somebody like starts a conversation with me, I will try to keep it going, but I am not great at starting conversations at all. And it's something I would really like to get better at, but I find that the older I get, or maybe it's just because I'm not around people that I jive with. Like, I haven't found a tribe over here yet. Like, when I was working at the daycare back home, or even the winery back home, like, I got along with those people so well, and like, I could have a conversation with literally any of them. But all of the jobs that I've had here so far, I have just been completely silent, quiet, just not. And maybe it is a cultural thing for me because I don't really know, because I am treated as kind of a foreigner, but like not in a bad way. But like, I always get questions like, oh, how you finding it over here? And, you know, what's it like, you know, back home in America? And like, just questions like that, which is understandable because, you know, when you have somebody who's from a different culture than you, you want to learn things. And I'm all open to that. But, like, I just never know how to start a conversation anymore. I'm really good at answering questions, but I'm not really good at like starting conversations. It's just not great. I'm going for a very subtle look today because I'm not really in the mood for color. I haven't really looked up anything. When I want to do like a colorful look, I always look to Google or something for inspiration because I never really know how to place colors or anything. I know how to place colors for a natural look, but I don't really know how to play around with colors for anything else. So before I do the lash line with a darker color, I'm gonna go into my e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow Palette and we're gonna dip into that very, very bright shade there. It's my favorite. I do love this. It is something that I would like to get rid of, but I'm not like in a hurry to get rid of it because I do like this a lot more than the other product for some reason. I just feel like these shades are so much more pigmented and they just work so well. But I have so much product. Hold on, let's see if we can focus here. So much product is off of that highlight shade, whereas the other two still have plenty of product. Let me see if I can show you here. Yeah. There's literally no dent in these two, but there's a massive dent in that white shade. This is my favorite shade to put in the inner corner as an inner corner pop because it is so brightening. It's so good. And I'm using my AOA Studio pencil brush. It's the E124. It's my favorite brush to use for stuff like this that requires a little bit more precision. I also like the e.l.f. crease brush, this one, and I think it's from their basics line or essentials or whatever they call it, but I do like this. But now that I have the pencil brush, I definitely use this a little bit more. I sometimes use that if I'm feeling a little frisky. I also like to take highlighter underneath the first half of the eye, and we'll drag that shadow into the inner corner a little bit more. See how it's very subtle? Also, I did my eyebrows finally. I couldn't stand it anymore. And since we were going to a party, I just had to like do my eyebrows, and I shaved my face. I know sometimes that's controversial, but and I don't take those really straight razors, that stuff on their peach fuzz. I take a safety razor and I shave what would be like my beard and my mustache. And it actually makes makeup application go on a lot smoother, but I do have to watch because sometimes I end up breaking out just slightly. All right, do the same to the other eye. And then I just clean off my brush really fast before I go into the darker color, which I'm going to go in with this bottom color here. Now sometimes I would use this shade for underneath my eyes, but since we want to get rid of this palette, we're gonna try our best. Maybe for giggles, maybe we'll use the bronze color today, just to use that a little bit too. So I'm taking the same brush and I'm going underneath the eye from about where my pupil sits naturally if I'm looking straight, so all the way out. And then I take that same shade and just kind of blend it out into the outer, like, eyelash part. It's hard to talk sometimes. And see, there is something that I have to try for hooded eyes. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell or you noticed, but I don't have a lot of hood space at all. Some people have so much room to play with, but I don't. I have brow bone to play with, but I don't really have a lot to play with down here. It's just how I'm built, I guess. So whenever I do eyeshadow and stuff, basically if it's on my lid, it's never going to be seen. So one of my goals this year is to try and figure out how I can utilize the space that I do have. Let me go back into that dark shade and do the other eye and try to finish my story about the party. So anyway, we got there, everything's good, everything's fine. My husband's getting like, you know, he's happy, he's living life. And I was the DD, so I was being very careful about watching what I was drinking. I had alcohol-free wine, which was actually pretty tasty, and you know, just water for the night. Everything was good. And then about 2 in the morning, I was fine to stay a little bit longer, and my husband was too, but at the same time we both kind of just wanted to leave. So we get in the car, we say our goodbyes, we get in the car, and I back up, and then I pull forward to start going down the driveway, and I get stuck on their curb. I go over their curb because they didn't have any material behind their stones. So I jumped the curb and then my tire was stuck behind it. So I'm trying to reverse, I'm trying to pull forward. I'm literally trying any way that I can to try and get my car off of this curb. So I asked my husband to go and ask the host to maybe see if he can help us out. And so he tried getting my car out. He couldn't do it. And so for about an hour and a half, we were trying everything in the book to try and get this car moved from behind the curb, because it was just my front driver's side tire. We were trying to just get it from down in the little ditch over the curb and onto the driveway. The way they built their little stone wall curb, they had like about a foot drop. So my tire was just stuck in there. The only way to get this thing out was to either put material underneath it or try and get all the manly men to try and lift the car up and over. Well, nothing worked. And it was 3 degrees Celsius, so I can't remember what that is Fahrenheit because I don't use Fahrenheit anymore. It was 3 degrees out and I'm freezing, I'm shivering because I was only wearing like a really nice wool like knitted cardigan and no coat because I didn't think I was going to be outside. And it was just a whole ordeal. And I was fine, I was keeping pretty calm, but I was really embarrassed because I just couldn't believe it. It was a foggy night. I mean, I'm trying to think of excuses for myself. It was foggy. The interior of my window was like cloudy because, you know, of all the fog and like the temperature difference and stuff, but I just felt really embarrassed. So we were trying to figure out what to do. Are we gonna stay there? Are we gonna try and call his parents to pick us up? Or are we gonna try and have somebody take us home? Luckily, we did end up having someone take us home. We did end up coming home at 5:30 in the morning. We left my car there, and the next day we kind of were just like hoping that we would get a text that it was, you know, they had gotten it out. Luckily, our host's father is a farmer, so he has equipment that he could use to lift it out and put it back on their driveway. But yeah, it was embarrassing. But you know, it could have been worse. And the car was safe. I like a subtle eye look. As I get older, I do like just a quick subtle eye look for every day. So that's what I want to get rid of, is this e.l.f. eyeshadow palette. It's gotta go this year. I don't want it in 2025. Oh, but I said I was going to put a little of the bronze on. I have found that it does not go on unless I use it with my finger. I want to put it right in the middle. Right in the middle. I have found if I use a brush, it is so dusty and it actually brushes off. It's not a great eyeshadow by any means, which is why I think it would make a better watercolor paint. Like, that would be a stunning watercolor paint. I think that's what the plan's gonna be for that. It's not in my project pan, but I am gonna use it today. And I only have that much left anyway, but this would be a rebuy for me. And it's the NYX waterproof eyeliner in brown. And I'm gonna use that to tightline. I don't tightline the entire eye. I always go from the middle out. I never do the entire eyelid or eyeliner or waterline. There's so many different ways that I have learned through TikTok and YouTube shorts about how to do makeup differently, because I do find that I follow the same pattern every time. It probably is because I'm a creature of habit and I have OCD and I like routine. But I do need to try and shake things up a little bit, even if it's like one thing at a time, like changing up one way to do something in my routine. Is anybody else like that? Are you like that? I see you, Sharon. Are you like that, Sharon? So this would be a rebuy for me, this NYX waterproof eyeliner. I would rebuy this. I do have it in black, and I think white, and maybe some other colors. Because at one point, I went on a shopping spree on either Ulta or Sephora back home. And yeah, now I have all this stuff. Guess what time it is? Actually, I might do my eyeliner last, but I'll show you now because I'm still in the eye stage. It's this Catrice waterproof eyeliner. We're still trying to use her up. I hate it. But this, I don't care if I use it up or if it dries out, but this, come December 31st of 2024, this is out. I'm done. I'm not using it anymore. Since we're still on eyes, this is leaving. I'm decluttering this. I don't use it. I also don't like it. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 waterproof liquid eyeliner in the color Demolition. It's just a really dark brown eyeliner. It can't even focus. That's how bad it is. Like, even my camera doesn't want to see it, and it's upside down. But I don't like this stuff at all. And I spilled half the product because I was using it one time, and then I just boop, spilled it all over my hand. So it's super liquidy, but I don't like it. The brush is disgusting. It's a super thin brush tip. And you would think that because it is a super thin brush tip, that it would work really, really well. I hate that. Because I found that even when this was new, I was constantly having to go over my lines just to get the right thickness that I needed. So yes, maybe it was good for if you wanted like just a super thin line, but that's not what I wanted when I bought this product. And like I said, I don't think they sell this anymore. I think the color Demolition still exists, but I don't think that product exists anymore. So it's going. Here, trash time. Bring the trash can. Goodbye. Enlightening. So something that has to be gone out of my collection, right? Whether I use it up or I throw it out because I'm kind of done, is these three products. I showed them in the last video, right? These three have to go. Oh, I don't even have all of the packaging's all wrong. These three have to go bye-byes. They are gone. Either I use them or they be gotten rid of. But these are all basically empty at this point anyway. Especially this one. I'm pretty sure this only has like maybe a couple scrapes left. So, and then this one is still pretty full. I can't really judge or tell because, well, the packaging is pink, so can't really see inside it. But that is probably on its way out. And then this I will rebuy at some point in the future, but I don't know when because I still have a hard candy primer. I'm deciding if these two silicone-based ones are gone first, then I might rebuy the poreless putty primer because I do like that for the areas that I have the largest pores. It just works really, really well. And that also is if I can find it in store. If not, I'll have to buy it online. But I'm pretty sure I've seen it in stores over here, like Superdrug or something. So anyway, I don't think I have any fallout, do I? I have a little bit. But it's not a big deal. So let's put on our primer here. I have no idea when I hit pan on this. I could have swore, like last year, I had a bunch of that. What happened? So focusing, that was a weird way to say that. Focusing on the areas where I have the largest pores. So cheeks, forehead, nose, where you like grind it in to the skin. I don't remember if I put moisturizer on today. I think I just washed my face and called it a day. I don't have any base. Don't have any other base on. I could have used I did use this on Saturday. The e.l.f. e.l.f. Oil Control Lotion. I don't think that product line is a thing anymore. I think they debuted it in 2019 and then got rid of it. It didn't work anyway. Like, I am the oiliest person in the world and it did not work. Like, at one point during the evening on Saturday, my entire forehead was completely slick. It was actually just, I can't. I try all these products to try not to have oily skin. The only thing I don't do is use like really, really harsh cleansers. Like, I'll double cleanse my skin. I use the well, actually, and this is another thing I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of this so bad. This is the L'Oreal Fine Flowers Milk Cleanser, and I want to get rid of it. There's only that much left. I don't like the consistency of it. It is very, very oily. I think it's meant for dry skin anyway, but my mother-in-law bought it for me for Christmas the one year. I think 2019, and when I came over, and because she saw that I was looking at the packaging and she's like, oh, well, I'll buy that for Kelsey. I have been using it ever since. It's not my favorite because mainly I like to use my Burt's Bee. It's a Burt's Bees oil cleanser. I love that stuff. I actually bought it in October 2022 when I was visiting America, and then I bought another bottle of it when I was at Walmart with my mom in July last year. Yeah, it's good stuff. Now, I'm not going to put anything on my neck today because I'm wearing a turtleneck, but I am going to try and put this disgusting primer where I can. How much is even left in here? Maybe we can even throw this out today. Let me see what I can put on. Hold on. Shoot, I'll even go over where I put that putty primer. If it means getting rid of something, I'm all about it. We gotta go. Because I'm finding, especially after we put the loft bed up, I'm kind of tired of having stuff. I'm just really tired of having no space. But at the same time, we can't really get a space of our own yet. I am hoping, because there's no way we're gonna get a house this year. Like, it's really hard for foreigners to get houses and stuff unless you like jump through a billion hoops or you have a partner who's really rich. Am I getting rid of this? You know what? There's like one more scrape in there. I'm a completionist. Hold on. Let's go. Let's just say goodbye. All right, let's have a tribute. Do do do. Do do do. Do do do. Say goodbye. Goodbye, Bare Minerals Prime Time. We never loved you. So, this has gotta go. It's almost there, right? It's almost there. It's the CoverGirl Oil Control foundation. It's upside down because I'm trying to get everything down. So the other thing we got into this weekend was my father-in-law sturdied our bed. So our bed is now firmly against the wall. My husband and I, because I forgot to when we were actually building the bed, we put the slats like against this thing here because there's like a bar here that goes across. There's two actually, and we secured all the boards down because I was supposed to do that and I kind of forgot because I didn't read the instructions before putting the mattress on. So we got all that stuff done. It's much better now. I also have a thing here now that keeps this sturdy so that the curtain rod doesn't keep falling down. All that aside, yes, we had a very productive weekend and it was fantastic. But we're gonna get to this CoverGirl clean. Oh, there is product right here, but I'm gonna have a really hard time getting this stuff out today. That's actually plenty. On Saturday, I got impatient because I wanted to get my makeup done. And so this is the next product I'll be using after that's done. Is the Collection Lasting Perfection Matte Foundation. And it's in the color Fair 5. This is gonna be the next foundation I use because the other foundation that I have, I believe is, crap, I don't remember, it's L'Oreal. I'll put it right here. I use that one for special occasions because I find that it lasts the best. It also looks the best. I actually forgot to do concealer. This has to go. If this is still around next year, I won't be super mad, but I gotta use this a lot more. I was just so excited to tell you guys what I'm trying to get rid of that I forgot what order I put my makeup in. Taking my AOA Studio High Def Brush E103, pick up as much of that concealer as we can and start bopping her in. Oh, I also forgot to color correct. That Revolution palette isn't on my radar either. Even though I hate it and I want to use it up, it's not going to be on my project pan. But if I pull it in for a random makeup look every now and then, great. But if not, totally fine. But it is going to be something that I'm going to try to use on a regular basis. Not today, obviously, because I'm all over the place today. I hate this concealer. It sets too fast. It sets way, way too fast. Should I start changing up what order I do my makeup in? What do you think? Because oftentimes I do find that when I do eyes, it gets covered up by the face products, and then I sometimes have to go back and do my eyes again. I'm also worried about fallout with my eye products, so like I never want to do my face first because there's going to be so much fallout. Like, what's the happy medium here, guys? So I'm taking my AOA Studio High Def Brush F3. I'm going to take all that product off, and you know what? We'll do that too, just for good measure. And we'll go in, baby. I actually did my makeup a different way on Saturday too. I powdered first and then used my setting spray. And that still didn't make a difference with how oily I ended up getting. Like, my entire forehead was shiny. Like I said, I'm not gonna go down too far on the neck today. And as far as like when I put my bronzer slash contour on, I'm not gonna go too far down because I don't want makeup all over my turtleneck. It's a turtleneck from Pre-Worn, so somebody has already loved it. And now I'm going to love it even more. But I thought it looked really cute with this, I think this is Derek Hart. I think I got it from like JCPenney when I was like 20. And it's a cute little jumper dress, but I mean, I wear it as like just a jumper or sweater. Oh my gosh. I've lived here too long. A sweater dress? Oh, that's the complexion, except I need to go into the corners of my nose here a little bit more. I find I'm always missing the corners of my nose when I do my foundation. That looks so much better. And with my eyebrows actually like tweezed, it looks so much cleaner. Yeah, I'm gonna be really glad when CoverGirl's gone, because it's not a great finish. And I also find too that I really need to start using my facial smoothies more, because I have two very deep forehead creases and then I have 11s developing as well. And all I could think of when I was editing my video last week was, oh my god, look at my forehead. Now, don't get me wrong, we all age. There goes my beauty blender. I give up on today. Like, we all age, right? It's just a fact of life. But I want to defy gravity as much as possible. I don't think I'll ever get Botox or anything, because going under the knife or having procedures like that really actually terrifies me. So I'm gonna try like all the natural remedies that I can, that are safe obviously, just to try and stave off aging as much as possible. But you know, a couple signs of aging, but I was just like flabbergasted by how deep my forehead creases were, and I was like, something's gotta give, girl. So for contour, I am just using what I have in my DIY palette. This one down here, it's nice, very shimmery bronzer, and I was actually pretty proud of how I edited me putting it on last week. I used a metal. Surprise! You know what, I think I have to be done. I think this is my sign. I'm very clumsy today. I'm fumbling my words. Maybe this is a sign to just end the video. That's a joke. We're gonna delete the channel instead. I put on way too much on my forehead at the start, and I used a Metal Gear Solid alert sound. I gotta play around, guys. I really need to play around with makeup a lot more because I want to play around with the placement, right? I get to play around with the placement of everything. I've been putting my makeup on the same way for like years now, and like there's other ways to do it, and I just gotta find those other ways to do it and just do it. And like, don't get me wrong, like if you find something that works, obviously you want to like do it all the time, because if it looks the best on you, if it's the best technique for you, it's easy for you to do, then you know, maybe it's something you want to just keep doing. But I'm getting a little bored. Like I do the makeup the same way, and yeah, I get the same result, and I like the result. Oh, maybe I went a little bit too far with that. I might actually take my... But there's like filters and stuff that you can try to like shake up your makeup if you want, and just like play around, and I never use them because I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do that for? Why not just shake it up a little bit? Oh, did I say what that was, by the way? No, I didn't. That was my AOA Studio High Def brush in F9. It's my favorite contour brush right now at the moment. And then blush brushes, I use several interchangeably. I think I have one in my gym bag that I use at the gym, but this is my Wet n Wild blush brush. So I do have some notes here about my project pan, right? Because like I made a whole Notion template, and you can actually buy it if you want. I have the link down below, but you know, no worries if you don't, but it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm using this e.l.f. blush here. It's from the Quad that they used to sell. I don't know if they still sell it, but I think this is the medium shade, and I picked the medium shade out for the winter because it's pretty and it gives my pale skin a little bit of something. But it's also very pigmented. So, ooh. I made a whole Notion template last year for my project pan, and for a while, for like the first like 3 months, I was on it, right? I was on it. I was like keeping it updated, and I was like really invested in it, seeing how many uses I was getting, seeing what was in my collection. Like I loved it. And then like I kind of stopped updating it as frequently because I wasn't really doing anything. We weren't going anywhere. I didn't have any time really to like film videos and stuff of me putting makeup on, which was like kind of the basis for my project pan, because I'm like, well, I want to, you know, show everybody what I'm wearing, and there's a piece of glitter in my eyebrow. I think I'll keep it. No, it just got too much. It just got to be way too much, and I just felt like it was overwhelming. I wasn't doing it anymore. It just got to be too much. It just felt like really daunting to like having to track every single time I used a product. So I was trying to think of ways, do I track the usage of the products or do I not? So I'm still on the fence about that. I also talked about wanting to do an eyeshadow overhaul because like I said, I have so many blues and greens. I might keep some greens, but there's a lot of blues. I never ever wear blue eyeshadow. I might keep some pastel blues, and I might keep some dark blues that I like. But like, I'm not wild about blue eyeshadow, especially ones that verge into green. So that's something that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take those and they're gonna be turned into watercolor paint, because that's the only way I can see not feeling like I'm wasting a product, but at least utilizing it in a different way. So basically I'm just gonna hyper focus on a smaller list of project pan and not be bothered by tracking it as much. I still kind of want to keep track of like the looks, I guess. So in a sense, I'll still be maybe tracking something, because like maybe I like a makeup look one day and I want to see what products I use that day. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence about what I want to do moving forward, so nothing's set in stone right now. I also had a tracker for my nail polish too. That's another thing I want to start doing more, is doing my nails. I have a ton of regular nail polish, and it was a bit overwhelming, the amount of nail polish that I bought. It was for really dumb reasons that I bought it, because I wanted to like, on my art channel, I wanted to try and have a different like nail art in every video, and that was just a really dumb idea. The idea was I was gonna use a peely base and then put my nail polish on for each video, and then like film the video and then like scrape off the polish and then try. It was a bit much, and at some point I just didn't care, but I was left with all these polishes. So I hate the drying time of nail polish, regular polish. So I was like, how on earth am I gonna get through all this regular polish? Well, I found, and this is not sponsored, okay? Just big alert right here, not sponsored at all. And it's this product called, gosh, I'm gonna put it right here, but it's a polish to gel transformer. And I used it on, not Saturday. I did use it last week for this brown polish. It probably would have lasted a little bit longer had I not had to try and push my car out of a ditch on Saturday night. Yeah, I really like it because it transforms your regular polish into gel, and it works, and I really like it. Anyway, where was I even at here? Highlighter. That's what we need to do next. I have a lot of eyeshadows that can be used as highlight, but I'm still gonna use this Sofx palette. I love this palette. Like, I really like it. I like how the palette looks. Well, I don't like it anymore because it's all scratched up, but I like that it's pretty. It's a cute little palette. I like all the color varieties and variations. You get quite a bit in here. And I thought it was really affordable at the time. Love it. What color are we gonna do today? I don't know, maybe we'll do that sort of, let's do this color over here. It's kind of a taupey color, like a grayish. And I'm taking my AOA Studio F19 brush, and it is my favorite. I love this brush for highlighter. I rave about this almost every single time I use it. It's the only brush I like using for highlighter anymore. I have a fan brush, right? Do y'all have tips on how to use a fan brush? Because I have absolutely no clue. I've tried using it for highlighter, but I just don't like it. And I'm also taking some product up here on my brow bone, just for a little bit of extra pop, because I don't have any real estate on my eye, so I gotta put stuff where I can. Love this. I have two fan brushes. I don't know where the big chunky one is. I think it's in my other makeup bag. But I have this thin one, right? And they're both AOA Studio, and they're good quality, but I just don't see the need for them. They're very, very soft. So maybe like loose powders and things, but I don't know. I just feel like I have better brushes for that sort of job. So I just never use the fan brushes, like, ever. But at the same time though, it's like, I wish I could find a use for that brush because I do have it and it's taking up space. I don't think I will ever be buying brushes for a very, very long time. Like, I haven't felt the need to buy a new brush. One thing I gotta start doing. So I did talk about this last year, and technically I did film it, but I just never got around to, like, I didn't like the outcome of it, right? I hated the outcome of it. It was a video where I did all of the makeup things that I normally wouldn't do. So I did Batwing liner, I did a color of eyeshadow that I normally wouldn't wear. I think I did a couple of other things, but I just didn't like the video, scrapped it. And that was, I think, the video that kind of made me spiral to not want to film anymore, because I was like, I don't know, I don't have any ideas for anything. I feel a lot better now that I'm more refreshed from not working a toxic job. I mean, I'm still worried about not having a job, but things will come. But anyway, I was getting to the fact that I need to start trying to contour my nose. I have a very differently shaped nose, and I never thought that contour would really do much for me. I just felt like it would accentuate the weird shape that I have, but we can always try, because, you know, maybe it'll look great. So this is the time where I have to tell myself, what am I doing next? I think I'm still going to go the route of spraying my mist first and then doing powder on top, because I don't know, YOLO. This, I'm desperate to get rid of this. I'm so desperate to get rid of this. So this is the other thing on my project pan this year to get rid of, is this e.l.f. matte blotting mist. It's not really a setting spray. It's just to keep your face matte during the day, which I have tried on several different occasions to, like, mattify my already oily skin. And so I would use like a tissue or a blotting paper on the oily parts of my face and then this, but it's not great. It's probably why they don't sell it anymore. Now let's try to aim for my face this time. Gotta blend her in really, really well. So I would love this to be gone. I have a hard candy setting spray that I got when I was back home that I think I still have more experimentations to do with it, but the hard candy primer that I used, plus the L'Oreal foundation that I used, plus the hard candy setting spray that I used, all lasted during my friend's wedding. Like, I didn't have to do any touch-ups when I went back to the hotel. I didn't notice that I was getting oily or anything. The product wasn't breaking down. And this was from the time that I put my makeup on around, I want to say maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning that day to about maybe 9 o'clock at night when we went back to our hotel. So it lasted a pretty long time. So I'm excited for those products because they are just like amazing, but I'm hoping that they don't break down by the time I actually get to use them. Anyway, negative thoughts aside, let us powder thy face. Oh, something that I forgot to mention the last time was I bought this at TK Maxx when I went on my little mini Halloween holiday. And it's this Hello Clean Brightening Cleansing Balm. Again, not sponsored, I'm just showing you what this product is. And it's this cute little balm. Excuse me, I have an itchy nose. Comes with a little thing. I have used it once because when I was at the hotel, I was trying to film videos and it just didn't work. The lighting wasn't great. I wasn't doing so hot mentally. It doesn't really have a smell. It has vitamin C in it. It's just clean. So yeah, just a cleansing balm. When I used it at the hotel, I noticed that it was good. I actually don't know why I bought it. I think I just bought it on a whim. Because I think I was buying the Han Hydrate and Mattify lotion and I saw that too and I decided why not, just go for it. So I have my homunculus powder. And if you're new here, I call it my homunculus powder because it has probably 5 or 6 different powders in it. There's a lot going on in here. But it makes my skin look awesome. It just really blurs everything out. And I think that's the HD powders. I'm trying to put this on without getting stuff on the floor. It's not translucent. It has a little bit of coverage to it. Baking is what I need to do too. I need to learn how to bake my foundation. And speaking of baking, I need to make banana bread today because I pulled some bananas out of the freezer and I need to make some banana bread. Oh, I don't think I could ever do a dewy makeup look. It would just freak me out too much because I just think that I'm oily the whole time. I should still try it though. This is the AOA Studio F12, by the way, and I love this big fluffy brush. It's so soft, and I'm just brushing away any excess powder. I also like to push it in sometimes when I remember to, and then brush it away. Smooth, no texture. It looks really good. Now this product that I want to get rid of, right? Because this is a product that has to go. It has to go. There is very, very little product in here. I don't want this anymore. It is a good product though, don't get me wrong. And you know what? I'm gonna be really sad to not have this cute little package anymore, but I'm trying to think more in terms of like stuff like around me. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this e.l.f. eye brightening powder. It's a very yellowy powder, but it is very nice. So we're going to go into the inner corner here where I'm blue and purple and press it in. And we're basically gonna go into the areas where I used it, where I used concealer. And then once we're satisfied, you can just do a little flick in here. You can basically tell already that that eye looks significantly brighter than this eye. It's good stuff. I don't think they sell it anymore. I'm actually not 100% certain. You can probably mimic it with anything, any powder that has a more yellow undertone to it. Really like this stuff. I'm gonna miss it when it's gone, but I just want it to go. It's time. I'm gonna do my brows off camera really fast and then I'll get back to you in a second. Do you guys have any brow secrets or tips or tricks or products, holy grails? Because I find I do my brows the same way every single time, same shape, same everything. And I mean, yeah, they look fine. They look natural, but like, could they be better? Probably, but I haven't used anything else, so I will never know. I'm gonna prep the lips. And this is the other thing that I wanna get rid of because I've had it for years. And honestly, at this point, I don't care about this side at all. I will gladly throw this out even if this side is still intact because it's actually horrible. Maybe I'll show you what it looks like on. It's like a stick concealer. And this is the e.l.f. Lip Primer and Plumper. One side has a plumping side, so it smells, they use cinnamon oil. And that's the side that I'm gonna try and get rid of because there is like literally maybe 1.5 centimeters of product. But this is like, remember when concealer lips were super in? I have a feeling that a lot of people use this to achieve that because, oh, it's so terrible. I'm gonna take this off right away, but I just need to show you. Oh my God. Basically, as the name suggests, it's supposed to act as a primer for your lip products. Does it work that way? Oh, hell no. Oh gosh. I was never a big makeup person in high school. The most I ever did was eyeliner in the wrong place. I would put it right underneath my lashes, only the bottom lashes, like some sort of emo kid. Yeah, so look here. All right, how close can we get to the camera here? Look at the texture. Okay, look at how patchy. You can see every line. All right, and just as an example, okay, maybe I will get you. Okay, well here, I have some here. I have a matte lipstick. Okay, this isn't on my radar, but it is something I would eventually like to get rid of. It is my e.l.f. matte lipsticks that I got flipping years ago. One of these I think is shorter than the other. They're in different colors. One's in natural and one's in tea rose, and I think this is natural. It mingles with your product. It changes the color of it. I don't know who this product was for, but it don't work. I will use the plump side. And then once it's out, baby. And this plump side did find that it did something. Definitely felt it. It definitely has like a burn. You know how peppermint tingles? Cinnamon burns. This has got to go. This year, out. As part of my declutter, since we're in the lip section now, these are going to go. Okay, I've held on to these thinking, hoping, wishing maybe I'll use them. Maybe. One day. I never did. These were the e.l.f. like hyper glosses that they used to make, or hyper shine, or whatever they were called when they first came out, when e.l.f. was like just starting its brand. And they were all $1. I think I got almost every single shade. There's Fairy. Fairy was a nice, cute, light pink. And it had a brush tip. There was 2 different tips. They had the brush tip and the doe foot. Bear, which was their nude shade, and that was also in a brush tip applicator. Baby Lips was my favorite, so I'll just show you that one. Definitely tried to use that up. I think at one point it was in my purse, but I just never got around to it, and I will tell you why in a second here. This one was nude pink, so more of a cooler tone than the other ones so far. And that one has a doe foot applicator. And these last 2, I'm just gonna show them at the same time. The pink one is Bubblegum and the purpley one is Joy, and they both have brush tip applicators. The reason I'm getting rid of them, reason number 1, they have gone off. Joy, I think, smells the worst. Joy smells like a crayon. Oh God, probably tastes like it too. Oh yes, the product is separating. I don't even know why I held on to them this long. So those are gonna go. Goodbye. So yeah, what are we actually gonna put on the lips today? Well, I actually don't know. We're pretty subtle. We could go for a pop of color today, but I'm wearing green, so I really have to think about it. So I was looking and I was like, I want a lip that's gonna stay today. So I have decided to use some products here. We've got the Revolution Superfill Lip Liner, and does it have a specific shade? It's called Wonder. It's a nice brown color. It is a pencil. Nice pretty brown shade. And then I've also got 2 more products in my hand here that I'm going to combine. So I have the Revolution Matte Liquid Lipstick, and it's the color TGIF. And from what I can tell, it is kind of a cooler tone brown, at least in the bottle. And it's ooh. It kind of smells like Coca-Cola and cake. But again, very pretty. So very pretty shade. I'm hoping it doesn't sheer out too much, but we'll see. And then on top, but I'm going to try my best to try and feather it out. It's the, that still smells fine. I worry about these AOA Studio Wonder Metals and other liquid lipsticks because I had 2 so far that have gone completely bad on me, like smelling like putty and everything. And it's the Liquid Metal in Truffle, and it's really, really pretty. I have other browns too, but this seemed like the closest shade match, or at least undertone match. I'm gonna try and put it into the center of the lips and try and go for, like, I don't know, kind of a subtle glam look, because I was looking at my nails. My nails are brown. I haven't done brown lipstick in a very long time, not since college, when I got the CoverGirl, what was it? The CoverGirl Outlast. And I despised that formula because it was so, like, if you've ever used the CoverGirl Outlast lipstick, yes, they do last. But I did not like the formula because they were so drying, and it came with a gloss, or not a gloss, but like a top coat, and it just wasn't for me. It was so dry and I hated it. I think I ended up throwing it out actually. So we're gonna take our lip pencil, and I really need to play with the shape of my lips too. Like, I never overline my lips because I just feel like it looks bad. This is very, oh, this glides on. I have some e.l.f. pencils that I hate using because they don't glide. They feel like I'm dragging it across my lip. I can never seem to get my lips even. I find that I round the top of this side, and then this one's always pointier. Maybe because I'm left-handed, I don't know. That was so smooth. Like, I've never had a better experience with a lip pencil, actually. There we go. Ooh, hello, who are you? I'm gonna go in with the Revolution liquid lipstick first, and very carefully put it on my lips. That's good. That's real good. Now, I'm gonna put this in the middle, but before it dries, I want to try and like pat it out. I want that shine to be just in the middle of my lips. Do I dare put some on the top or just the bottom? I think I want a little bit more. That's actually really pretty. And this should dry to the same finish. Okay, I'm really impressed with myself. We'll do eyeliner because I said I would. But you know, maybe I should do it off camera because I don't know, I don't want to waste your time or mine when I'm editing to cut all of this out. I wanted a tiny wing, and then it became a not so tiny wing, but it looks good. Looks good. Like, I'm actually really happy with how the look came out today. I'm actually just going to use Lash Princess on my bottom and top lashes today. My Wet n Wild is one I could totally get rid of too. This is what I'm talking about, by the way. My Mega Volume. I really want to try different mascara formulas. After Lash Princess, I want to try some L'Oreal or Maybelline. What are your favorite mascaras and why? Like, what do you like about that mascara that is just like your end all be all? Do you have a mascara that really lengthens your lashes? Do you have a mascara that really like pumps up the volume and makes your lashes look super thick? I need some ideas. Like, I just don't like how Lash Princess gives me spider lashes. I don't like that on me. I just feel like it looks a bit heavy. I like a more natural lash where everything looks really defined, separated. Like my lashes, but better. Like, almost like my lashes have nothing on them. Like my Primark mascara, the PS by Primark. Maybe I can find a picture of it. It was so good. It was so good. It was $1 or £1 rather. It did the job, but it was so good because it separated and it lengthened, and it just looked like there was nothing on my lashes. Whereas this, it definitely looks like there is. But I had to try it because it went viral. But sometimes hype isn't everything. Actually, I didn't curl my lash, but that lifted them, didn't it? Ugh. I guess that's why you use a lash separator or a lash comb, but ugh. Pretty good. Like it. I really like my look today. I look really nice. All right, let's take the hair down and try and fix it, shall we? Ooh. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I kind of like the bangs being swoopy like that. You can see all my gray. Okay, pretty. I like that. That's all for me for this video, but if you have any project pan goals for yourself, what are they? Are they any similar to mine? Are you going really ambitious this year? Or are you gonna be like me and kind of like narrow down the choices a little bit and kind of really stick to them this time around? So let me know in the comments below, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you're feeling a little frisky, go ahead and subscribe. Love to have you here. I would totally appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. I have to burp. Hold on. So as for face, oh my gosh, I really shouldn't have gulped that down because now I feel like I have to do all the burps. Okay, that might have been the last one. Ooh, there's a hair in it. How on earth? Well, there's gonna still be a hair in it. So using my AOA Studio High brush, I really don't want to get makeup all over my nice white, all over my nice white turtleneck. That's all I have for this video. If you have any project pan, what's the word I'm looking for here? Project pan goals.